Hey everyone, welcome to the March Equinox Pick a Card reading. And of course, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's going to be the Spring Equinox. In the Southern Hemisphere, it'll be the Fall Equinox. And also March 20th, which is when that equinox happens, is going to be the astrological new year. We've gone through all of the zodiac signs. We're leaving Pisces and starting over back in Aries. So happy Aries season as well. I'll have another special video for that. That will also be coming out, of course. Now the equinox, the solstices, we are either kind of pointing away from the sun or pointing toward the sun. And that's where we have winter and, of course, summer in the different hemispheres. But now we are kind of more where the sun is on the equator, which is going to be represented with this beautiful balancing that is coming in, this equalizing, where days and nights are equal-ish compared to winter and summer, of course. So the sun can seem like it's right above the equator during that time. And again, it's this balancing where we're not tilted in one direction or the other. So this reading is going to be about, springtime is about birthing, fall time or autumn is about harvesting, things are coming to fruition. And so you're going to have a choice of 3 different pick-a-cards. The first one is going to be the caterpillar being born or the butterfly coming to fruition. Number 2 is going to be the little seedling that does grow up into a fruit tree. And then we've got like the baby or the calf or the fawn that turns and grows into the adult, into the stag. So you have choices of 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to start with number 1. All the others have the timestamp in the description box below. So if you want to jump to one of those other ones, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to start with number 1. All right, on my Pisces, if you chose reading number 1, which is the caterpillar to the butterfly, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Into the Lonely Woods deck. And this is just going to represent 1/2 of the balance and see what the Creator wants you to know over these next 3 months. 1/2 of the balancing act. All right. So for our Pisces that chose reading number 1, okay, I do want this one right here. And you've got the realizations. Card number 41, which breaks down to number 5 when you add the 4 and the 1. So that is about change and awareness and this transformation of looking at things in a certain way. Let's see what else we have here. It says, so often we are distracted. We churn through the day, too busy to see, to hear, to feel, and to think. And the soul starves within us. But in a time of aloneness, we can come to moments of deep realization where we begin to understand so much more. Honor those moments when they come within this time and space. The key to moving into a more soulful and rich connection with yourself and the world lies in these more lonesome times. You will have moments of realization that are the key to your entire life taking a different shape in the days to come. And this is a great blessing, born from the quiet, the stillness, the space around and within us in isolation. So yeah, there definitely is this balancing that's going on here with this is like, I feel like this is going to be your aloneness. We'll see here in a moment, but this is like your busyness, your soul that is craving a change. It's wanting more. It's feeling just discontent with the outside world. So we're going to see the other side of this, though. We're going to pull a card here from this Earth Magic Oracle to see the other side of this balancing scale here. There we go. So for our Pisces that chose reading number 1, there's a lot of energy in them. They all want to come out. So let's see here. Okay, they do want this one right here. Here you go. Yep, so here's the other side, the shaman, the ancient healing wisdom. So yeah, this is very much the feeling of like the hermit card, which is about spending time alone. Shamans, if you know the history of them or the regular behaviors or, common behaviors, is they would be away from the tribe, be away from a lot, and be out in nature, be away from them, the busyness and all that stuff like we were talking about. And that's where they find the wisdom. They find connecting to the spiritual world, finding all that beautiful, like I said, healing wisdom. The book says, the deep, compassionate eyes of this Native American shaman portray the wisdom of one who has seen and who knows. He's witnessed visions and spirits, suffering and joy, and knows that everything that exists has spirit's intentionality behind it. Able to travel beyond the veil of ordinary reality, the shaman's primary assignment is to discern and maintain the balance between what his human community takes from the natural world and what it gives back. And when this relationship is out of balance, the shaman must do whatever is necessary to restore it. Balance equals healing. Perfect. Exactly what we were talking about here. And the shaman lives his life in ceremony and treats everything with reverence, including the great mystery of death and even the greater mystery of life. He works with his spirit helpers, including his ancestral spirits, to help him in his service to his people and to Earth Mother, providing a liaison between the spiritual and the physical worlds. Charged with relieving suffering as one of his priorities, the shaman does so by first always tending to the spiritual wound, the source of all illness. And these healing powers have been passed down along over the millennia from the ancient ones who knew the healing and curative powers of spirit. So that is so perfect. Definitely your spiritual connection is what is needed for this big balancing act over these next 3 months. We're also going to dig in here with the Black Tarot, and this is going to represent the messages from your shadow side, which is like it's like your tour guide in this path of life. The shadow is so aware of the subconscious, what's going on below the surface, and they're able to bring us these beautiful truths because our conscious awareness are things, of course, that are in our face and we're aware of them, but the subconscious are all these programs that are running beneath the surface that are still impacting us. We just don't know why. We're doing certain things or have certain drives, certain desires or whatever, but this will help us as well. So for all our Pisces that chose reading number 1, what shadow, what would you like them to know? What else? Okay, and then those right there. Just to spread these out here. All right, perfect. So we'll start with this one over here. You've got the 3 of Wands, and this is about taking a different direction and redirecting your energies. The Wands are your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, your passions, your spiritual energy, and just your energy overall. So this is definitely about this movement and this change of where you are directing your energy and how. So definitely with this journey that you've been on this side, that is the external world pulling you in all these different directions, and you're investing your energy in all this outward stuff. And this is switching all that energy to focus on the inside, because really we don't see the world as it is anyway. We see the world as we are. And so whatever's going on inside of us is going to influence everything we're seeing out here. So focusing the energy on the inside to where we can make change, because we're only in control on things on our inside anyway. The outside world, everyone's making their own choices and decisions, and you can have very little control over anything out there, but you are the only one in control of what you're deciding something means and deciding how you're feeling about a situation and your emotions. So coming to the inside here is what is important. And then we will move into the second card here. Yeah. 10 of Cups. So you do have, cups are your emotions. It's your water energy, Pisces, and you are overflowing on the inside. There's so much that wants to come to the surface. All these emotions that are going on, and they're good emotions. These are like the feeling of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. It's the stuff that you connect to here, and this is like, I feel like the healing emotion, the healing energy, emotional energy that's bubbling under your subconscious. But it's like, I feel like this has been so the focus of the darker side, the darker emotions of life. Because Pisces, you're a black fish and a white fish that swim like, like the yin yang, right? The little yin yang. And so you've got the ability to go into these deep, dark places of fear and all the emotional side of the dark side of the pond. But you also have the ability to go so far into the light side of the pond too, all those emotional waters. And when you are up here in your consciousness, if you're focusing on the negative, then the positive is pushed into your subconscious. Likewise, if you're always just focusing on all the positive stuff and never allow yourself to feel the darker, fearful emotions, they get stuffed into your subconscious, and they still run. They just never get processed. They just keep going in circles. Whereas when you're in your consciousness, when you allow yourself to feel, like if you have some sort of a depression come up, or a sadness or an anger, something comes up, you allow yourself to feel it. Don't live in it. You don't have to. If you do, then that's your choice too. But it's definitely a suffering experience. I know. I speak from experience. When you focus on all those other things, eventually you get tired of it. But so dealing with them and allowing yourself to feel them and flow through them rather than push them down and have them recycle, that is that. And so I really feel like there's a sadness and such a focus on the fearful, darker emotions in your life that the happy ones are there. They're wanting to come out, and that's why this is being brought to your attention. Yeah, because here you have the Justice card, which is all about the balance. This is a scale, and you've got the light, and the dark. So they're even on those sides there. So you definitely have this awareness that they're wanting to bring forward to you, that there is a second choice, that you're not stuck in feeling and believing all the things that you always have, that there is an alternative. And it's your connection to the spiritual world that'll grant you the access to the capital T truths and all the beautiful truths of the upper world. And then you also have the Knight of Cups, which makes total sense. See the reflection in the water. So this is this movement of your emotions, this changing of your emotions, this riding through and flowing through your emotions. So it is this activity that is being pinpointed within you, because this is the time for you to look into these emotions and understand them. Then we're going to pull from these the Naked Heart Tarot, which is going to be where these were messages from your shadow. into your subconscious, and what they want you to know. These are going to be the intuitive messages, the messages from all those beautiful beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, who want to bring you the capital T truths and to share other information with you as well. So we'll give these a little shuffle. We'll see what else they have to say. But this is great. This is going to be such a life-changing balancing for you over these next 3 months. So for our Pisces that chose reading number 1, okay. And they want that one too. They want that one too. Okay, what else? Yeah, I kind of feel like you have this one and just that one there. Well, they do want that one as well over here, so we will take that. And you've got like these, and these. So these will be little combos here. And we're going to start with these two. Yeah, you have you've got the sun and the devil. So these, let me just show you them side by side here. Get my camera angle there. There. So don't be afraid of either one of these. This is basically, the devil is our shadow side. It is the one that keeps us on this adventure, that keeps us in this game. And I always look at this card as like a villain in a spy movie like Dr. Evil in the Austin Powers series, more so because it's kind of hilarious that Dr. Evil, you know, the evil, he always spills his plan to Austin Powers, who's the spy, because he's planning on ending his life. But Austin Powers always escapes and then foils his plan in each of the movies, and several times throughout the movie sometimes. And it gets to the point where the advisors of Dr. Evil even say, quit telling him, you know he's going to escape and foil your plan. But that is what our shadow side knows and does. It brings messages to our face, shows us what is impacting us and making us feel this way, and then winks at us. You know, it's like, yeah, this is what's keeping you feeling trapped. Wink, wink, because it wants to give you information when you're ready for your path to make that transformation, which then comes in the sun. The sun is the most victorious, one of the most victorious cards of success and brightness, of course, because there is no shadow without light. If there was no sun, you wouldn't see no shadow, right? And so it is this message that it all happens on purpose, for a purpose. And I love that it also is above this Three of Wands, which is about where you're directing your energy. Are you focusing on the dark side or focusing on the brighter side? And so that is what is coming through here for you. So let me just arrange those. I know, my perfectionism kicking in. Okay, so we're good there. And then we move into here, where you've got the Seven of Pentacles, which pentacles are about your outside world. And you also have the Heart of Cups, which would be the Queen of Cups. And so this would basically be a lot of your energy, Pisces. You know, you are the cups, you are the water sign. And especially with it being the heart and being the queen, she also has double water energy. It's very much high priestess energy, where it is about connecting to the higher realms. She's so intuitive. She so much connects to the upper worlds and the spiritual world. I mean, she's a whale here. She's able to dive deep into the depths of the emotions and swim where, you know, you really can't go anywhere. And here above the Ten of Cups, of course, you have the Queen of Cups. And the Seven of Pentacles represents, the pentacles are like the outside world, and the Seven of Pentacles is really about seeing the results of the seeds that you've planted. You know, it shows that there's little fruit growing on the tree, and that's good. You know, that's okay. You know, that it takes time for things to grow. You plant a seed and then it grows, and eventually this, the fruit come out and become ripe where you can pick it and eat it, right? Well, the Seven of Pentacles also has this other message, which I really feel corresponds with this Three of Wands and this changing of where you're focusing your energy, because the other thing the Seven of Pentacles does is it shows you, oh, look, it's growing apples, and you're like, but I didn't want apples anymore. I want oranges, or I want avocados, or, blueberries instead, something different. And so you stop investing your energy in the things that you thought you wanted, but then when you start to see the fruit, you're like, meh, not so much. And so you redirect your energy into something else. And I really feel like this is what they're telling you here. And you have that power, being the Queen of Cups, to really direct and move your emotions in whatever direction you want. I mean, the whale is a very powerful water creature, right? And so you do have that available to you. All right, and then we move into this one here, and you've got the Spirit of Wands. Oops, sorry. Do it this way. Spirit of Wands, which would be the King of Wands in the Standard Tarot. And then you also have the Fool card. Now, the Fool card is the card number 0, which is like a new beginning, which is great information, great energy. But it also represents your soul. It represents your higher self, your spiritual connection. And so does this card, the King of Wands. Wands is your energy. It's your spiritual energy, right? That's what we talked about earlier. And the King is the highest spiritual energy that you can feel, which would be your higher self. So I really love the, reiteration here. Queen of Cups and both of these as well are about connecting to your spiritual side. So they really are saying, we want to talk to you. We want you to connect to your higher self, to the higher realms, because that is how you balance everything out, right? That's this balance in this darkness of this Justice card. This darkness of this world, the bright light that balances everything out is your connection. It's your connection to the higher realm. You are the star, And then we will pull from here. And you've got the Innocence of Swords, which would be the Page of Swords. And you also have the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is such an awesome card. And people are like, what? I'm like, yes. Because the 10 is endings and new beginnings. And this little mouse or rat, he's not dead. He is just exhausted because he's been trying to meet up to all these small t truths, all those expectations, the should be's, the need to be's, the have to be's, the musts, all those things of the outside world, all that busyness that we are engaged with exhausts us. That's where we're at here. Even that little creature on there, he looks exhausted. But what's great is that you also have at the same time this Page of Swords, which is a new thought, new belief, new messages, but it wields this Ace of Swords here. And that Ace of Swords does two things. One thing is that it helps connect to the capital T truths of the higher spiritual realm. And so it allows you to understand how the spiritual world works, who you really are, the power that you have, and that just amazing that you are a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. You can connect to that awareness and that worth that comes with all of that. And it allows you also, the Ace of Swords, to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. All of these expectations of the fear-based world, of the human world, of all the things that everyone has told you your entire life that you feared not meeting up to, and you exhausted yourself trying to make them all happen. So, I love that this is all about the realizations of what is real and what is not. That this world that we live in really is not a reality. What's real is our spiritual, because that's eternal. This world is temporary. So what is real? A temporary thing or an eternal thing, right? And then your special bonus, I knew it. I knew you were going to get the star, because I was going to say it right here, that this is the star card. And I was going to say, I bet I wouldn't be surprised if the star card showed up. And here it is, because this is your connection to your highest self. This is the hope card. This is like Aquarian energy, which is all about bringing the living waters to mankind, of the water bearers. Even though they're air signs, they're water bearers, and they bring that change, the new way of looking at things as well, new perspectives. So this is you. You are the star, baby. And we're also going to pull your final cards here from Divine Directions and just get your final messages from the Creator for this reading. So all for our Pisces, okay, that chose reading 1. What's your final message? Any others? And final pass. Okay, just those two. And just to grab these. And your first one is guides. And that says, your spirit guides are there to help you. Communicate with your spirit guides today. So yeah, definitely, if you needed any other confirmation that this is about a spiritual adventure for you, which is totally Pisces anyway, you're so thirsty and hungry for the spiritual world. So that doesn't surprise me at all. And I mentioned it here, and with your connecting to the higher realms. So you do have all these beautiful beings of love and light that are on the other side. You know, if I didn't mention, in addition to the Creator, you've got your, guardian angel, an angel, a being, a supernatural being that at the same time your soul was created, it wanted to form and be created alongside you, to never leave your side for eternity. It wanted to be a part of your soul adventure for all of eternity. So you have that guardian angel that only has eyes for you, that is totally committed to your spiritual journey. So get to know your guardian angel and call upon them. And then you have all the other angels that come and go and have different, assignments for your life. You have your spirit guides, who also can be loved ones who passed and gone to the other side. It could be a variety of other different souls and different spirit beings. But you also can connect to your loved ones who lived here in this lifetime and have gone to the other side. And all of your ancestors. It talked about ancestors here too. So if you have this attraction to your ancestors, I really would look into that and know that there's a whole lineage of thousands and thousands of individuals that are running through your blood. Because, if you ever do like the lineage kind of websites and stuff, when you do a family tree, it expands very quickly, and you can see just even looking at the parents of the parents of the parents of the parents, it's just amazing how many people's blood and DNA, and that's just the physical stuff, but their spiritualness and the investment they have in the love they have for you. You can connect to all that. And then any other beings of unconditional love and light that you believe in, unicorns, leprechauns, fairies, whatever it might be, just know there's a whole expanse of beings of unconditional love and light that do want to connect with you. They won't mess with your free will, but if you, of your own free will, ask them to meddle in your life, making themselves known, give you signs and synchronicities and messages, stand back and watch, because they will. And then you have the new birth, like that full card with this new change that's coming. Yeah, time of new beginnings. Embrace the new life with open arms. Yes, totally different life. And like I said, it's going to be life-changing for you, because you're going to move from this place to this place. You are this star. Kind of feel like I want to put this in the middle here now. That is you. You are a bright star. You're this being of so much power and so much energy. And I love this 3 months for you. Definitely that springy and fruitfulness energy coming in. You chose the going from the caterpillar who goes into the cocoon, who comes out a beautiful butterfly, and you definitely are ready to fly, baby. You're ready to fly. I'm going to leave the reading there. I also want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the elements like water signs, fire signs, etc. Also new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, also click the subscribe button. That'll give you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, you can select all, which will allow you to be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video or share a video or comment on a video or subscribe to someone's channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy that it wants to share those videos with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, I am, of course, grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want an even more specific reading for your life, I do offer personal readings, and that information is in the description box below. All right, all my Pisces, butterflies, and caterpillars, as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing equinox period. But I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon anyway. But until then, you take care. All right, on my Pisces, if you chose reading number 2, which is the seedling to the fruit-bearing tree, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Into the Lonely Woods. And this is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about one part of this balancing of this scale here. Start off there. Let's just shuffle these one more time. There we go. All right, so for our Pisces that chose reading number 2, nope. Okay, that is the one right there. And you have Find Your Night Self. It's a beautiful card there, and that is card number 21, which breaks down to a number 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, which is very creative. But I love this. So the one side of this, of course, is understanding your shadow and understanding your darker side, and not judging it and trying to kill it, but embracing it and understanding it. And it says, we can be different at night. It's liberating when the peace and silence, the stillness and strangeness give us a chance to become something other than our daylight selves. Night feeds the souls who dare to dream with eyes wide open, who take their visions and create lives of beauty and discomfort, who thrive amidst the wild, the bohemian, the nonconformists. That is what your soul craves, the song of the night, for the night self to arise, for the unshone self to be made visible, for the tattered wings you've tried too hard to hide to finally be seen by those with eyes of magic. The night will never be lonely again, for within it, you know you find yourself. And that is beautiful, because one of the things we're going to do here in a moment is look into our shadow side, our subconscious, our unconscious side, and see what messages it has for us. And this is basically saying to get to know that side of you. And then we'll look at the other side of this scale and with it from these earth magic cards, and to see what the other side of the scale holds. All right, so for our Pisces that chose reading number 2, okay, yeah, they went to this one here, which is so funny, the Dawn. So you've got find the night, and then you have the dawn, which says new beginnings. So that is hilarious that you've got both of those here. And let's see what message comes with dawn here. I won't read the entire thing, just the little intro. It says, the start of the day brings with it reassurance that the night has passed, making way for new opportunities, no matter what has come before. It reminds us of the predictability of the daily cycles. That first light that forecasts the sun's appearance awakens the winged ones, birds, who sing and chirp happily at the advent of another morning. It's a time of fresh beginnings from which we can create whatever kind of experience we desire. In this image, we see the rays of the sun stretching into the valley, while the sun itself peeks around the corner as if it had set its course to proceed around the bend in the river, which appears relatively still from its rest during the night. This scene exemplifies renewal and new beginnings. So, yeah, this is so perfect that these two cards came up for one another, because really the balancing is that, yes, this is what you're used to, this is the norm, this is the brightness, this is when you feel probably safe and secure because there aren't many shadows. There's a lot of brightness and light, and we kind of distract ourselves and we get busy. Where this is getting to know your true self, your deeper things that are still running behind the scenes that we may not be aware of, which is what we're going to look at next with the Black Tarot. So like I said, this represents messages from your shadow, which is our friend. It's our tour guide through this life. It takes us on our adventures. It takes us off-road. But there's a lot of truths that are in our subconscious, because like if this was your conscious world up here, whatever you allow yourself to flow through and experience here, you do. But let's say you have your happy emotions that you focus on here, the dawn, the sun, woo, woo, woo. But if you have any dark emotions, if you don't allow yourself to flow through those, they get minimized and put down here into your subconscious, which continues to run and continues to impact you. It just keeps going in circles and never ends. Whereas when you allow yourself to feel and flow through them, not make them a part of your everyday existence, they'll flow and it's like water in a stream. You only touch that water once because it's already gone on down the stream. You don't have to continue to experience that stagnancy of water, but that's what happens. It becomes stagnant and festers and just continues to recirculate, in your subconscious. So now we'll see what your shadow has to say. So for Pisces, that chose number 2. The seedling to the fruitful tree. Okay, and then these 3. All right, so we'll start with this one here, and you have the Knight of Cups. Cups are your emotions, and the Knight is about this movement and this flow. And you can see here the reflection of the horse in the water and of the Knight in the water there. And the Knight, they do bring, and I'm not sure if you don't see it is up over here. It's just hidden up in the tree. The Ace of Cups is in the tree over here, because all the royalty of the cups always have that chalice. And it's almost like this one is like the search for the Holy Grail, which holds the living waters of the unconditional love of the Creator of all things, that which will make us feel whole and complete. So this Knight, it feels like this action and this pursuit and this battling for, experiencing that. So there is this movement of these cups and these emotions working and flowing in the, the lower realms there. Right, and then we will look at this one next. And you've got the 8 of Wands. This is great too, because Wands is your fire energy. It is your drive, your ambition, your passion, your spiritual energy, and your energy overall. And the 8 of Wands, the 8s are like going to another level. It's about understanding, finding wisdom around, and really moving into this new place. It's the Eight of Wands is the energy moving very fast. And so there is this, in your subconscious world, you've got the spiritual energy that's flowing, wanting to express itself. It's like there's different parts. I kind of feel like spiritually, normally Pisces are spiritual beings that want to pursue all areas of spirituality and understand it. And what can happen, though, is if our physical world has little spiritual laws that are constrictive, it'll make things like, oh no, this is the way you have to express your spirituality. Different ways that you want to express it, or to the extent that your spiritual being wants to express itself in the world, can be suppressed and pushed down into your subconscious. And that's what I feel is like you have this spiritual energy that wants to be expressed, and the shadow side of this is it wanting you to see all sides of who you are and allowing yourself to express that and not to limit yourself. Yeah. Because then you have the Eight of Spheres, which is the Eight of Pentacles. And like this eight here, it represents moving to another level. You can look at it as kind of like a blacksmith who was an apprentice. And you've been doing the work, you've been really working through life, but you're ready to move to another level in the outside world as well. And so there's this push between these two eights here about moving to this next step, becoming the master blacksmith, instead of the limited apprentice, who the apprentice learns by kind of regurgitating the master that it's learning under. And so it keeps doing things the same way. It builds the blacksmithing, does it exactly till it almost like duplicates what the master does. Then they leave that town and they go to another town where they become the master blacksmith, and they start creating their own unique creations. Instead of regurgitating the master, they start expressing themselves in their own unique way. And then you have the Justice card here. And the Justice card is about the balance. You've got the dark and you've got the light. And this is all about, it shows a giant tear here, but there really is this, usually has the Ace of Swords, which is with the thing that's balancing it, like this stone here. And it represents understanding the difference between the small T truths and the capital T truths. And so this whole journey that you're on is understanding the difference between the two sides of you, and that both are important. You did come here to experience your shadow. And your whole shadow is this beautiful, like I said, tour guide that's taking you on experiencing the opposites, because experiencing darkness, we understand light more, and experiencing sadness, we understand happiness and joy more, and experiencing chaos, we understand peace more, experiencing the conditional of the world, we understand the unconditional love of our higher self in the spiritual realm. And so there's this kind of mixture that's going on with you that I feel like a lot of your life has been focusing in on this darker side of life. Even your spirituality in a lot of ways has been feeling very confined, and a lot of pressure and fears around them not meeting up to the standards of what everyone says that you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to act and everything else like that. But this journey that you're headed off on now is really allowing this spiritual energy, this higher self, this all expansiveness and inclusiveness, and you have a lot of energy that's been building up, wanting to express itself. And so it's like this message of look beyond the norm into the different sides of things, go deep into the night, go deep into the day, but it really has to do with freeing yourself from a lot of the bondage and a lot of the rules that you've been having yourself under for so long that you haven't truly been able to express yourself. We're also going to dig in here with the Naked Heart Tarot. And these are going to be messages from the Creator and all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, and just what advice or information they want to give you regarding the balancing of this. All right, so for our Pisces, I chose reading number 2. What else do you have for them? Okay, and we went to that one too. So your first one here is the Tower. And so the Tower is this message, and don't be afraid of this. This is just that things or obstacles in your life are going to be removed out of your life for you to make room for the new. In fact, here's this tower. So you've got this tower and this tower here. So there are these beliefs and these thoughts and things that are going to be disappointing, or these could be a relationship of some kind, or a situation like a job or education, or it could be a possession or money, or something to do with your body. Something in the external world is going to be changing, because there's a story behind this which starts off with the Wheel of Fortune, which says that before you came down here, your soul, your higher self, your little brightness decided like when it was going to come down and when it's going to leave, what avatar or character was going to represent it in this path, which is you, our human self, and all these fated events that it wants to experience to more understand itself. Now, within each one of those fated events, we still get to choose what story we apply to it and what emotion we feel through it. And sometimes it doesn't feel like a decision because it's so conditioned from our past, those roles and everything I talked about. We just took it on as our own belief as well. So when this happens, this is what it means. When this happens, this is how I'm supposed to feel, supposed to feel, should feel, need to feel, must feel, have to feel. All that stuff is, put on us, and we believe it, and it gets reiterated and reinforced so much that it becomes our habit. It becomes our reaction to where we don't feel like it's a choice. But if we take a deep breath, slow down, pause, then we can see that we can make a different choice about what it means and what we're going to feel through it. Where the Tower comes in is that one of these fated events that's happening is the Tower. So the Tower is in our life, but in order for us to experience a fated event after it, this needs to be removed for us in order for that to happen. And that's the whole message with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, is that anything that happens in our life is happening for us. It's not happening to us. We do come here to experience what it might feel like to believe that we're being punished and that we're having these things happen to us and blah, 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 blah. But when we're ready to move beyond that, we're ready to move from the shadow to the light side, then it'll be removed for us. Now, if you're in tune with Spirit, and if you are raising your vibration, your love vibration, to that of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, that is the vibration, the frequency at which Spirit speaks, in the heavenly realms speak. So you can hear the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to when the lightning is striking the Tower to remove it. And sometimes you'll see even in some cards it'll show someone leaping out of the Tower and someone getting blasted out of the Tower. The person getting blasted out of the Tower didn't choose to jump out of the Tower if it was hearing it count down or wasn't listening, because it was involved in the chaos of the world and couldn't hear the countdown, so it gets blasted out of the Tower. But if you hear the countdown and see that something's going to be removed, you can remove it earlier if you want. But I would not get upset with yourself or judge yourself if you have a lot of Tower moments where things get removed for you and you get the lightning bolt shock treatment, because most of us do. We like having that experience right up to the last possible moment. But this is this message that things are going to be removed for you out of your life, these beliefs and these thoughts that have been keeping you limited and not being able to express yourself, but that it's happening for you, so don't freak out when it does. And then you have the Five of Wands. And the fives are all about movement and change and seeing things from a different perspective. We already talked about the wands, I believe. Yeah, when you talked about the Eight of Wands down here, yeah, it's right above it. So the Five of Wands is this transformation of how we look at things. And it even has like this little firestorm in the middle where it feels like there's conflict and there's this storm going on. But it's this new belief, it's this new transformation that happens in our lives where I always have like this little kung fu movie that starts to play with the Five of Wands, because there's like five staves and it's like five people have them and they're all it's like this kung fu movie that's happening and they're all fighting each other, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're really trying to hurt one another, and there's all this conflict and activity, and then four people finally are on the ground exhausted, and one person remains standing, pretty much exhausted too. And then they all start laughing, they put their staves away, they all walk arm in arm back to the Buddhist monastery meal hall to eat together. And then suddenly this energy that we were feeling was so conflict, and we were looking at it in a certain way as, oh my gosh, this is wrong, they shouldn't be fighting, to, oh wow, these are actually, Buddhist monks that were helping each other learn by practicing together to improve their skills. It was not what I thought it was. And that's kind of the energy that's happening with this understanding of how you've looked at your spirituality in your life for this period of time. Yeah. And then you have the Magician. So the Magician, really, you can see like the infinity symbol up here. This represents your higher self, your eternal self, your infinite self. And the Magician raises one arm, like his wand to the heavens, and the other hand down to the earth. And that's bringing this, it's like this lightning bolt that comes down. You become this lightning rod, or this funnel, this pipeline that brings the spiritual world, brings that beautiful spiritual energy of the other side, unconditional love, and you bring it and express it out into this world. So, definitely that's what we're talking about with your magic, with your energy, with this beautiful spiritual energy you have, bringing it down like a magician into this world, expressing the spiritual into the physical world in your own unique way. But it also shows us, because it has the cups and the swords and the wands and the pentacles, has all four suits on it, that you hold everything you need to be able to express yourself, express that unconditional love in your heart with the world. You have it all, and you don't need to hide it. You don't need to hold back anymore by obeying all those rules, whether they're spiritual or other people's opinions. You get to express it in your special way. And then here you go. You have the Chariot. So the Tower with that Wheel of Fortune, this comes down to it too, where the Chariot is about your power of choice, that no matter what happens, you get to choose what it means. People will have their opinions about what something's supposed to mean and should mean and need to mean and blah, 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 blah. But you are the one that gets to choose what anything means and what emotion you're going to feel around it. And that's what this Chariot shows you. It's the power of choice. You hold that free will within you to be able to do that. So even when, and I know this isn't popular to say, but Spirit tells me what to say, and so I'm going to say it. It's like, there's a lot of organized religions that have a lot of man-made fear and control things built into it. And I've had friends go, well, how can you tell what's of God and what's of man and whatever? And I go, whatever religious text or religious beliefs or organized faiths of any kind, if it is of unconditional love, then that is of the Creator. If it is of conditional love or fear, and it's not of unconditional love, then that is of man, and is man's opinion. It's man's controlling, fearful side trying to express itself. And that's the piece that Spirit is saying, you can let go of that stuff, because that's the stuff that's limiting you. It's like all these gates that are keeping you from moving into a deeper and deeper and deeper connection to the Creator and to all those beautiful beings of unconditional love and light. And it's keeping it suppressed and restricted. And it can go because you have the key to get through it all. And the gates aren't even locked. People are just saying, oh, no, no, no. Don't go through those gates. You'll get in trouble. God's going to hate you. And it's like, God loves you unconditionally. He's never going to hate you. So there you go. And then your final message is going to be from these Whispering Woods little cards here. This is the final message for the Creator for all you Pisces that chose pile number 2. So much. Whoa. I know he wants to talk to you, but that's too many. Okay, there we go. So you still get 3, which we had 2 plus 1 is 3. So you got flow. Your flow of energy, right? Go with the flow as water trickles down a stream. Do not hurry. So we talked about that a little bit with that emotions about, you never stand in the same stream twice, right? And the importance of letting things flow instead of stagnating them, right? So I love that. And you've got music. There is a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. So yeah, this is about listening to your higher self, listening to that spiritual world. They have so much that they want to say to you, so much that they want you to hear and communicate with you. And the more we raise our vibration to that of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, the more clearly we can hear them, right? Like we're talking about with that Tower card. We can hear as things come. Things don't feel as much as a surprise. And our life just flows so much when we're allowing our spiritual energy to flow as well. And you have retreat, which says, spoil yourself in the morning mist. Breathe in nature's sweet scents. So the retreat isn't like retreat, like from a battle. Retreat is about, it's time for you to pull in to yourself and to treat yourself and retreat yourself over and over again with wonderful love, with, give yourself those things. Allow yourself, most of all, to express the beautiful being that you truly are without all that restrictiveness. Because you definitely, your true self wants to make itself known, wants to express itself more into this physical plane. So I am loving this for you. Right? And I want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the elements like water signs, fire signs, etc., new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, also click on that subscribe button, and that's going to give you access to this notification bell. And then when you go in there, you have an option, you can choose all, and then that allows you to receive all notifications of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing any of those things helps spread the love, because when you like a channel or like a video, you comment on a video, you share a video, you subscribe to someone's channel, the YouTube algorithm is so excited it wants to help share those videos as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, of course, I am very grateful for that. And also, these are general readings. If you want even more specific information for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All my Pisces, as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing equinox, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care. All right, on my Pisces, if you chose reading number 3, which is the baby to the adult, the calf or the fawn to the stag, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card from this Into the Lonely Woods. This is just going to represent one half of this little balancing that's going to be happening here over these next 3 months. And just one more time here. There we go. All right, so for all my Pisces that chose reading number 3, there we go. Didn't even have to go far too long there. You got there is one who watches over you. Card number 44, which is a very powerful number. And I really feel like this just represents this wisdom that is watching over you, this wise, higher being, of course. And it says, the one who watches over you is compassionate and sage. They often come to you in subtle ways, in the wise shape of a tree, in the luster of sunlit clouds, in the song of water running over rocks. To know you have this guardian is to understand that, while although there is loneliness, you are never alone. This watcher is linked to the path of your soul from the first breath to your last, and they will be with you in the great in-between of your lifetimes. The one who watches over you knows the sacred quest of your soul, and when it feels like you've lost your way, they will remind you of your purpose. And that is beautiful. I really love that for you because this represents your feeling of loneliness. And this is called Into the Lonely Woods You Go. And so this is this feeling of even abandonment, feeling like no one cares, and you feel like you have to approach so much of your life all alone. And it could be in the physical world. Humans, will act as humans do. They're all afraid to, when we're in our humanness, we all withdraw. We all want to try to take care of ourselves. And so when we see that in the physical world, we think that we are all alone, but we'll see what that balances that out here. I kind of, like it's talking about here, the balance of that is understanding there's a whole world of invisible beings of unconditional love and light that you are surrounded with. I mean, there is a crowd around you that love you and supports you. Thousands of individuals. And then we're going to pull from this earth magic oracle and see what the other half of this scale is. What's balancing out here? This will be over the next 3 months for this equinox, of course. So for our Pisces that chose number 3, there we go. And you have Gaia nurturing, so the comforting mother. You have the aloneness, and then you have the comforter. I love that. Couldn't be more perfect. And then let's read from the book here. Yes, Earth Mother, Mother Goddess, Great Goddess, Terra Mater, and Gaia. In the Greek pantheon, the magnificent being was Earth personified as a goddess, daughter of chaos. She was the mother and wife of Uranus, of heaven. It is her body that we walk upon every day, and the substance of our own bodies is the substance of hers. It's from Gaia that we receive everything we need for survival, which she provides for us abundantly, nurturing our body, mind, and soul. And if you don't have those types of beliefs, like I know in Christianity, we would consider this the comforter, right? The Holy Spirit, the nurturing side of the Creator. So whatever your beliefs are, look at it that way. Don't let that stand in your way. look at it as that, the creator has both masculine and feminine divine energy. They are both the strong, but also the nurturer. This is the nurturing side of the creator, okay? And it says, she nurtures our bodies by offering the fruit of the trees, the greens from the earth, and the air that we breathe. She nurtures our mind through her awesome physical and dynamic beauty, and, as depicted in this card, by the amazing colorfulness and diversity of the world she's constantly creating and recreating. She nurtures our souls by caressing us with her blessings each day and challenging us to be better humans through her response to our attentions and intentions. It says, receiving can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing, so let others give to you. It may be a stretch to do at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit can be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. And one way to achieve this is to also nurture yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self-nurturing. What comes to mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for yourself? Set aside your ritualized habits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nurtured. Lie on the earth and ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her and relax into her loving care. Yeah, so definitely this is a clear message about feeling alone, feeling abandoned, feeling like you're empty, that you're broken, that you're not good enough. I mean, all of that, and then knowing that you are worthy of being nurtured by the hand of the creator of all things. You get to have that. And I love this in here too. Let's see if I can, hopefully you can see the stag right here. Which is what we chose for this third reading, was the fawn, the calf that grows and becomes this solid stag that is powerful and protected with its antlers, right? Next, we're going to look into the Black Tarot, which this represents messages from your shadow side. And our shadow is like our tour guide in this human life adventure. It knows so much of what's making everything tick in this human world. In fact, we have a lot of subconscious programs that are still running that impact us, but they're not like in our face. We're not conscious of it because it's down here in our subconscious. And so spirit is our friend. Shadow, spirit is definitely our friend. Our shadow is a part of us, and it is our friend too, and it's going to show us what it wants us to know about this situation, what's running in the subconscious. So for our Pisces, that shows reading number 3. Okay, they went to those two. I went to that one for over here, and these two right here. And we'll cover that one last over here. So we'll start with this one. And you've got the Knight of Cups. And, you saw how I shuffle, and I even shuffle them in between readings. This came out in both the first two readings, too, for Pisces, which doesn't surprise me because cups are emotions. It's water. It's your sign. The Knight is all about the pursuit. You can see up here in the tree has the Ace of Cups over here. It's the chalice. It's the pursuit of unconditional love, the chalice, the Holy Grail, which is full of the unconditional love of the creator of all things, really the nurturing part of the creator of all things, the love that we're searching for. And so this is what's going on in your subconscious, is this hunger for something so much more than this earth, this human experience can give us. But what it does give us is it gives us the experience of the opposite of unconditional love, which is the temporary, unstable, conditional love of the human experience. And by experiencing that opposite, by experiencing conditional, we understand more fully what unconditional is. It's like breathing air. You don't realize you're breathing air until you're 6 feet underwater looking up at air and go, oh, there is air, because here's non-air, and now I understand what air is, right? And so it's that contrast that's important on that. And I love how this night is, they're on the water and you can see the reflection. And so this is the unconscious world that's going on, and it's being reflected, and you're feeling this drive to have that happen. That's why you feel so empty, like you feel so abandoned, because you're used to this nurturing feeling on the other side. When you're in the presence of unconditional love, in fact, you might hear a lot of near-death experiences where they're like, as soon as I left my body, I was just felt this warmth and this love that you just cannot imagine. And when I came back into my body, it hurt to be back in my body because I felt so constricted and I didn't feel that love anymore. And that's the difference between the two as well. So what else your shadow has to say? Yeah, because you have the Knight of Swords. So knights are about action and movement. So you definitely have this movement of a love and emotion happening. And then the swords is also, that's your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. It's your mentalness. And, where they have the Ace of Cups that they are able to grasp. The Knight of Swords has this Ace of Swords, which does two things. One, it allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, but it also allows you to have this movement in your thoughts where you can cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you, those limiting beliefs as well. And that's where this balancing comes in here. And then you have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, so Ten of Cups would be that ultimate feeling of wholeness and completeness from the other side. So that's definitely, what that's about. So that's reiterated here. There's this pursuit, this overflowing unconditional love that is flowing at the deepest levels of us that we are hungering for. And it just makes us, it's almost like you're hungry and you drive, by Burger King and you smell, because they're pouring out that beautiful smell, or a bakery. If you're like a vegetarian, you go and buy a bakery and you're like, and you smell like baking bread or, something baking of sweets, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it just makes you even more want it even more, right? And that's kind of what's happening here in your subconscious. Yeah, because here you have the Five of Cups. A lot of emotions are flowing, and the Five of Cups the fives are about transformation and movement of things, right? And so you can see the 3 cups here turned upside down and 2 cups right side up. Well, these 3 cups are the cups of the outside world, the conditional stuff, the stuff that's supposed to make us feel whole and complete, like this 10 of Cups. But it don't, because one of those cups is relationships, whether it's romantic, family, friends, work, whatever. The other one is situational, like jobs, education, circumstances that we're in. And the third one is things like possessions, bank accounts, our bodies. All 3 of those things are temporary and unstable, because in relationships, people change or they pass away. Situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, or are stolen. So those things are unstable because they're not eternal. But these 2 cups are the beauty of the card, because it is important for us to experience those 3 cups turned upside down, because the 2 cups that remain are the 2 cups of the 2 sides of yourself. The human side, which is empty. It's this chalice it has never been filled, because those things of the outside world are spilt. They don't ever fill up our cup. But the other cup is this chalice, is this Holy Grail that is full of this unconditional love of the Creator of all things. And it pours down into the human chalice and fills it up. And so this is that knowingness of the two sides of you, knowing that this nurturing, this unconditional love is there available for you, and it can fill you up. And so there's all this subconscious awareness of this nurturing that's going on that gives you this, it's out there, it can be found somewhere. You just might be a little frustrated because you haven't been able to find it. But here you go. They're telling you all about it. And I actually have a series out that just started at the beginning of this year called U ×2. It's totally free. I'll have it linked, the playlist at the end of the video here, so if you want to check it out. But it's all about getting to know the two of us that are living this human experience and how we can understand and build these relationships and connections with our higher self while we're still here walking on earth. So if you want to check that out, that'll be available. And then we're going to look at the Naked Heart Tarot. And this represents what the spirit world wants you to know. So where this is our shadow, our piece of ourself, this is going to be from the Creator, Spirit, and all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, and what they want you to know about this equinox and this balancing that's happening here. So for our Pisces that chose reading number 3, okay. Okay, and that's it. Okay. I still want to wait on that one for the last, so we will. And so the first card here, Five of Cups. In fact, I'm going to put it right above this Five of Cups because it's the same card. Don't need to reiterate it. It's just saying like, yes. That's them saying, yes, we meant it. It is very important for these two cups that are still upright to embrace those and to taste of those. So definitely do that. And then you have the Four of Wands. Wands, I don't think we covered wands in this reading here. Wands are your drive, your ambition, your aha, inspiration, your passion, but it's also your spiritual energy and your energy. Fours are very solid numbers. Of course, like a table, if it has 4 strong legs on it, it's a very stable thing. And this is about wanting to bring a stability to your energy, bringing a stability to your spiritual energy. And that does have to do with this connection, with this understanding of your emotional side as you look into this emotions that you've been feeling, questioning them, understanding them. You do have this solid foundation that comes. It's very bright and joyful feeling that comes from all of this. Of course, as you connect to this nurturing, why wouldn't you feel like relief and support and foundation? Everything you've been looking for in your heart, you find, right? Then you have Movement of Pentacles, which would be the Knight of Pentacles. And so you've got 3 out of the 4 knights. And out of the 4 knights, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving because the Pentacles is the outside world. And, when you're looking at wands and cups and swords, all those are internal things. And so things change internal fast compared to the outside world. And the outside world moves more slowly because it has its timing for everything, its seasons. It has, we're talking about equinoxes, right? We've got spring and summer and fall and winter. All of it happens for a reason. 3 months and 3 months and 3 months and 3 months. As it goes, as the earth spins around the sun, we go through our seasons and our experiences. And this is just a message letting you know that the outside world takes time to catch up with your inside, because we don't change from the outside in, we change from the inside out. So this is just a reminder that as the solid foundation comes in, if your outside world doesn't see it yet, they don't recognize it, or you don't see it reflected there yet, it's because it just takes time for the world to catch up to your innerness. Yep, and then you have death and rebirth. So don't be afraid of this card. Here's all those cycles of the moon too, just letting you know that there is this change that's coming, and it is happening for you. And so just know that this ending and new beginning is always happening, like I said, for you. You know, it's card number 13, which 3 + 1 is 4. It's a solid foundation that it brings, because things need to be removed to make room for the new. And they're showing me like a garden or a flower bed as we go into fall and winter, and things die. And if it's like an annual that only lives for the year, it's like you dig up all that stuff so you could have fresh, fertile ground to plant new things in. And that's what this is showing as well. And then I want to see what this card is here. Yeah, so you got the 10 of Swords. So yeah, this definitely, especially being above this card here, like we talked about, swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. You know, we had the Knight of Swords that we're talking about here. These are all those expectations. Look how exhausted they are trying to meet up to all those external expectations of the outside world. They are exhausted. And this is good because this is the 10 endings and new beginnings, like we just talked about with the death card there. This is that ending, and you have exhausted yourself, but you're ready to give all that up. You're like sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're tired of all that stress and all those things that we're talking about, how you felt before, that I'm tired of feeling alone. I'm tired of feeling guilty. I'm tired of feeling angry. Tired of feeling resentful. I'm tired of, you know, all those fearful based emotions that are rooted in the human experience, rooted in all those popular opinions of the supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be. And you're ready to give them up, which is great. That's why it's a great card, because you're at the end. You're like, okay, I'm done. It's like working an 80-hour work week, and you're at 79 hours and 45 minutes. You're like, okay, I'm ready to be done with this. I'm ready to be done with this work for this period. And you're ready for this nurturing. You're ready for this break, for this wholeness, this completeness, to allow this beautiful overflow of emotion to fill you up, and for that relaxation. So I love that. And then your final messages are going to come from these little Aboriginal Dreaming Totem deck. This is just the final message on what the Creator has for all of you Pisces that chose reading number 3. So what's your final message for our Pisces? Our Pisces fawns and calves and stags. What else? Okay, any others? Okay. I thought you were going to have a few. You get 4, which is a very solid number, right? Yep, so you have bravery. And that says it's time to reel in your warrior spirit. Not all conflict has to be a fight. The wise warrior will choose their battles carefully, weighing up risk on the road to achievement. So I really feel like, you know, this has to do a lot with that 10 of Swords there, that you're ready to put the swords away and to drink of the cups instead. You know, get out of the mind and get into the heart instead. Because love, love, love. It's the other side, right? Before you can truly love another, you need to open your heart and allow yourself to receive love first. If you open your heart to love, it will flow into your soul. Yeah. So, like this card talked about, opening up your heart to love. And then you have curiosity. That one says there's so much knowledge surrounding this decision you need to make. However, there are more options you have not yet considered. Slow down and the right opportunity will present itself. And I kind of feel like, yeah, this has to do with the past that you've had, and you have so much in your mind of the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, and have tos. It's really got your thinking very narrow. But as you connect to your heart and open up to the spiritual world even more, then you can see that there's opportunities and there's answers where you didn't see answers before. So being curious, being open-minded, being open-hearted will allow you to see a lot of solutions to things where you didn't see solutions in your life before. Yep, and what a card to end on. Wonderful. And that says, sometimes being too cautious is just an excuse for being afraid to take risks and move forward. Don't use this as your excuse to miss out on something amazing. Yep, so don't be afraid. You have this wonderful, wonderful nurturing, this wonderful source of unconditional love, meaning there's no conditions to earn it. There's nothing you can do to earn more of it because you have 100% of it already. There's also nothing you can do to lose it. You have 100% of it always available to you. So there's nothing to lose. You have this unconditional love waiting for you. The only thing you have to lose is this feeling. When you're ready, you'll let go, and you will not let go before then. I know. All right, my dears. I want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign. Also, weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs or water signs, etc. New moon and full moon readings and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button. Also click that subscribe button. That'll give you access to this notification bell. And in that notification area, you can choose the all option, which means you'll get notified of any videos that come out from this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love. Because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, you subscribe to a channel, all those things make the YouTube algorithm super giddy, and it wants to share that with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, of course, I am very grateful for that. And these readings are general readings. So if you want an even more specific reading for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All my Pisces, please know as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing equinox. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, though. So until then, you take care.